Well, the program in the last 6 weeks has been going very well. We actually have been experiencing some good results. People have a lot of good feedback, and not only even in physical aspect, but even when you talk to them, they talk how great they feel mentally every day.
The schedule is very demanding. Like they're having to work out sometimes twice a day. So we're giving them lots of extra workouts for a while to see how their bodies are responding. But I think what's really awesome about this program is that with our Biggest Loser, we've always provided the group workouts and we provide emails and motivational, inspirational. But within this group, we're dealing with nutrition so much more this year than we ever have before. We're trying to tap into their psychology a little bit and the way that they look at food and how they think about things, and trying to get into their heads and changing the way that they think.
Let's take somebody like Shayna. Shayna was her own worst enemy. She, in the past, as Laura mentioned, she was a yo-yo dieter. She tried every fad diet there is out there. And that was our biggest challenge with Shayna, is to change the way of thinking.
I'm having a bit of a battle with the scale, which is kind of frustrating. The weight's not coming off as fast as I would like it to, but I'm trying to overcome my infatuation with the number.
The relationship that she had with her scale at home was incredible. She would weigh herself 3 times a day. You can drive yourself literally insane if you do that on a daily basis. We recommend to people weigh yourself in either once a week, maybe even every other week. That's it. Because with the way that we fluctuate, we hold water, we ate too much, again, you have to also weigh yourself also at the same time, every time you weigh yourself in. So yeah, with Shayna, she's trying to learn that it's not about the weight, the number on the scale. It's actually about how she feels.
I feel strong. Like, for the first time ever, I mean, I know that I'm gaining some muscle. I feel like a stronger person. I'm able to lift more, you know, weight-wise in the gym. My endurance is improving. Like, there's definite improvements that way. My clothes are fitting better. People are starting to comment. So I definitely notice improvements, just not on that scale.
Some of them are a little bit frustrated because they're not getting the results that they were hoping to, that they are accustomed to when they do their fad diets. But anybody who wants to lose weight in a very healthy way, it's an average of 2 pounds a week.
Think about diets like holding breath underwater. You can stay there for a small period of time, maybe for a little bit longer, but eventually you have to come up, and what are you going to do? You're going to come up and you're going to gasp for that air as hard as you can. And that's exactly what happens when people go on the diets. They deprive themselves for a short period of time, and then they just come back and they get it back on because they didn't change it up here. All right, Clark, let's take a look and see what we got here. Clark, look what I found here. Man, you got a bigger selection than the local grocery store of dressings. Let's take a look, my friend. So tell me something, what do you think, why do you think these may be bad for you? Or maybe, let's say, it wouldn't be a perfect choice to use with your salads or cooking?
They're probably high in fat.
Do you think they may be high in calories too?
Oh, high in calories, oh, for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Absolutely. If you'll take a look right here, We have 1 tablespoon, which is a serving. It's going to be 50 calories. What would you say on the Caesar salad, perhaps, if you're having? What do you think? How many tablespoons you would think you would need?
1 to 2.
1 to 2. You know, I would love to see if people can get away with 1, but more likely I would have to say they're gonna go for at least 3 tablespoons, maybe even 4. And when you get into 4 tablespoons, man, this is 200 calories. And especially on the food plan that we guys have you, which is 400 calories per meal, that is half of your calories that you're supposed to eat in 1 meal. So you can kind of see how dressings, especially store-bought dressings, they could be quite bad for you.
Clark has been with us for 3 years on the program, and Clark has always been very athletic, very physical, but he didn't seem to get the results that he needed. So we knew that one of the areas was the eating at home. So we knew that was something. So he really tapped into that this year, and he's getting great results, much more than he ever has before.
First half's actually been gone really well. Probably the biggest challenge is planning ahead on the meals, keeping that portion control under control. Just, you know, not getting into that old habit of just filling the plate and walking away or going for seconds kind of thing.
What about healthier choices? What can you think of for right offhand?
Like a balsamic vinegar kind of type dressing.
Sure, okay.
Lemon juice.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You can use a little bit of
Be an
lemon
option,
juice.
yeah.
Okay. What kind of oil maybe you would use with your salad? Extra virgin olive oil,
oh, for sure,
cold
yeah.
pressed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because remember, anytime you heat up oils, even when you're cooking, they say these days that if you're heating up olive oil in a frying pan, it actually starts to heat up, and a lot of good fats, which is omega-3s and omega-6 that are in there, monounsaturated fatty acids, they start to break down and turns into carcinogens, and they are bad for us. So they recommend maybe using coconut oil these days. But absolutely, like you said, use extra virgin olive oil, cold press, add balsamic vinegar for a little bit of taste, also use lemon, also use natural herbs, right, is your better choice. Okay, Clark, I'm gonna have to bring my lovely assistant, my dear wife Laura, and she is gonna help us get rid of all of those things into the garbage, because you know what you have to do.
I guess it's for my own good, isn't it?
You're right, absolutely, man. All right, help me out. We're gonna put them all back into the garbage.
Sergej and I have been blessed that we've led healthy lives for most of our lives, and we take for granted sometimes of what we actually do know and how we live our lives. So it was a real awakening to see really how little people do know. And it was a really eye-opener to see that some people, all they were eating in a whole day was maybe 1 grapefruit and maybe a little bit of cottage cheese. That was their whole day's supply of food.
And that is the worst thing that we can do for ourselves.
Yeah, and somehow they didn't see that to be an issue or a problem.
I was more of a not eater than an overeater, so I do my 1 big cook a week, and I have all my meals prepared, so I just have to grab and pack for my lunch every day, and so I know at, you know, coffee or whatever, I've got my meal ready to go. So.
Well, Darla's been fighting her own challenges too. You know, she's making huge changes right now with her nutrition and also with her physical amount of movement that she does during the day.
I think I'm doing fairly well according to the goals that I've set out. I actually thought I maybe would have came off a little bit quicker, but I'm on the pace that I set for myself, so I shouldn't be hard on myself. I am on the right track. So I think with being halfway through, I'm sure that I can reach my goal at the end.
We're living in a society now of low fat, and that's when we became an obese society. Everything's low fat, low fat. But what people are forgetting is the healthy fats that are vital for our body. And when our body is craving, immediately what we do is we give it the same old crap that we always have, because we're having these cravings. When really what the body is saying to us, I need some water, please give me water, or I need healthy fats, or I need high nutrient foods. But we always interpret it as I need more chips, I need more chocolate.
You know, I'm so used to eating whatever I want, and now I have to follow a strict, you know, a diet for it's strict for me, you know. Like, we have a cafeteria at work and I could go grab anything I wanted. Now I can't. I'm kind of trying to avoid that area because I don't really want to grab those foods, and so I'm packing more of my lunches to work, but it's still kind of a challenge, you know, seeing cinnamon buns on the table in the staff room, and it's always going to be a challenge though.
We talked with the group about setting really small goals for themselves. Like, instead of these big goals for the end, let's talk about little daily goals. We did the stairs one night, and the stairs is a really difficult workout.
When we first started, we did the grandstand stairs, and now, you know, like I had so much trouble doing those, and now it's getting easier. Like, I noticed myself that it's getting easier and I'm able to climb those stairs better. And even like, I live at the top floor of an apartment, and I'm constantly climbing stairs, and I can climb those, you know, without being out of breath at the top, so it's kind of nice.
That night, right after the workout, she sent me a BlackBerry message from her phone. It said, "I'm so high." And then she put ... on life. She said, "I conquered those stairs, I did it." And she was so pumped and she was so excited. And I think sometimes that people don't believe in themselves of what they're actually capable of. So we've seen a shift in Marissa in believing in herself of what she can do, and that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
The workouts are hard, like they're different every day, so we're always kind of guessing, worrying what we're going to be doing next, but it's fun. Like, you know, I enjoy going to the workouts, and I don't think I would have done it before. Like, I just think that it's good that I joined it this year and I'm making a change.
Jen, she's been pretty incredible. She's been interesting individual to work with, you know. She's always full of excitement and surprises.
And always willing to try anything and everything, right?
For sure.
She had a fear of water.
Very nice job, Jen. Let her go. Let her go. Nice and calm. That's right. Breathing. Very calm. Feel comfortable in the water.
I didn't know how to swim. I've never taken a swimming license in my life. I actually went in the deep end without a belt, across and back.
Tonight she was going down the slide and
diving. She did a dive.
And she did a dive today too. So, I mean, people are pushing through their fears and overcoming some of these fears that they've held on to forever.
I have my days that, you know, you kind of get going backwards, but then you give yourself that kick in the butt that you need, or you call a new Lease on Life, because we've actually started the BlackBerry group. So if you're having a down day, you just go onto the BlackBerry and somebody says something that sparks you back up.
Biggest Loser and the new Lease on Life is very much like a family type thing, but the new Lease on Life is a lot closer.
Tessa's been a good help to this group, just like what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring her in, share some of her experience from the past.
Amazing.
And she's been great with all of the other contestants.
For me, I take it for granted. It's been so many years now that for me to whip something up completely different every day is nothing, but for them, it's a new challenge, and a lot of them have adapted very easily, and some of them are still struggling with different ideas on how to do things. I brought a few of them into my kitchen and taught them how to portion things and get things ready, so it's been a lot more personal.
Wanted to find out, how has the last month and a half been for you?
You know, it's been quite a challenge. The workouts have been very challenging for me. I usually feel like I'm gonna die at the end of them, but
so I didn't disappoint you.
No,
in
didn't
any way
disappoint.
in that field.
Not at all.
Sounds good.
But it's always good to have the group to push you to the end, because usually about 40 to 50% through, I think I usually can't make it, but it's a good group effort to get me through to the end usually.
How have you been finding the nutritional plan that we provided for you guys, which was based on eating 4 meals a day, and at each meal eating 400 calories would bring you to a total of 1,600 calories a day?
I think for me it's been a total change, just because I never really paid attention to how many calories I was eating at all, ever.
Yeah. And so, how do you feel now, like eating 1,600 calories
1,600
a day?
calories every 4 hours. I find I'm not hungry at all,
okay,
but I'm not extremely full either. And eating only 400 calories, when you first said that, I thought I'd be starving within an hour, but you know, I'm not full anymore, but I'm definitely not hungry or hunger pains or anything. It's been real good. It's been a real big learning curve for me, like the exercising, learning how to do things differently, not just sitting at the gym lifting weights. You know, you can use the straps, you can use your own body resistance, and as far as the nutrition, it's been a real big learning curve for me, learning what food actually does for you.
One of the biggest things with Todd was he was, I think, dealing with his ego, and I think every man can relate that we have at times a quite large ego on us, but he was afraid that if he would fail this contest, that he would hurt his ego, because people would say, you know, some maybe negative things about him. And right there and then, I actually had to put it in a perspective to him And I had to ask him, I said, okay, Todd, so tell me something, please.
Wow.
What do you think people say right now and think about you?
Okay, Todd, so I understand that one of your favorite snacks used to be wagon wheels. So let's talk a little bit about those. So when you would sit down and have a wagon wheel, how many would you eat? 1?
At least 2, maybe 3.
Did you know how many calories you were eating when you sat down with these?
Not at all.
Okay, so if you're going to have a look here, you tell me.
150 calories.
Okay, and that's for how much?
1 cookie.
1 cookie. So if you're eating 3, that would be how many calories?
That'd be 450 calories.
Okay, and so then when you would eat those and when you were finished, would you feel satisfied?
No, that would probably just be before supper.
Yeah, that was just a little prep, right? Okay, so I understand you're not eating these now. So you've replaced them with something like this.
Yeah, something a little different.
Okay, so have you taken the time to look at the ingredients on here?
Yes.
The calorie content.
Yes.
So the calorie content on one of these is?
130 on one of those.
Okay, 130 calories. And how many would you eat?
Just 1.
Wow, that's a big difference, right? I'm just going to show you what it is that we do with these wagon wheels and what exactly we think about these wagon wheels. Sergej?
This is how we roll.
One of the exercises that we did within the new LEASE on Life group, we asked them to write out as many things as possible what they can be proud of.
We couldn't believe all the accomplishment that Ray has had over her lifetime.
Ray, she's I think 2nd degree black belt in karate. She has 120 deep sea dives. It is incredible. I mean, I don't know too many people who has even like a dozen of scuba dives that they completed. She has 120.
It was a great assignment to have them write the things that they've accomplished in their life, because I think they forget about that and they need to focus on those things in order to move forward.
Before, I couldn't ride my bike very far at all. On Monday, I went all the way from the farm to Mydale on my bike, which is 16 kilometers.
I think my challenges ahead are definitely some of the exercises. I physically couldn't do some of them, and I'm getting better at them all the time, like the planks and the burpees and stuff like that. Before, I physically couldn't do them, and now I can definitely see a difference.
I have to buckle down more on my meals and like eating every 4 hours and everything like that, instead of making it a chore to, you know, measure out everything and, you know, just making it a part of my life.
We go on family walks, or we've been going to the park more. You know, they want to do more stuff as a family.
I think I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. I think it has to work eventually. I mean, I have the nutrition. I mean, I'm doing the best that I can with that, and I'm trying to hit my 1,600 calorie mark every day. The workouts, I'm working my butt off, so I think if I can just maintain and keep doing what I'm doing, it will work eventually. It has to.
What I've learned with the workouts, the Sergej's workouts, they're as challenging as you want to make them. So when someone walks away that says it wasn't very challenging, you know, you're not pushing yourself hard enough.
It's changed my life completely, so it's every day this is how I live. The intensity of how often we work out is not every day how I live. He's crazy.